In this video, I'm going to give you 7 rules that you absolutely must follow if you actually want to make money as an entrepreneur. So if you're interested in that, stick around. Hey there, thanks for watching. My name is Christiana and my channel is Well Behaved Wallet, where I talk about mindset, motivation, and making or saving money. Today's video is a Side Hustle Saturday video where I talk about strategies and tips and sort of ways that you can increase anything you have going for yourself on the side that's secondary to your main source of income. So there are plenty of videos out there that will give you ideas on jobs you can do or things you can do for your side hustle. I have watched those videos and tried some of those ideas. I will link to my experience where I applied for and was denied by Instacart. So that's to say that there are tons of ideas. It may take some trial and error to find ideas that generate income for you. However, this video is going to be about rules you must follow if you want to make money on the side. With your side hustle as an entrepreneur specifically. So the word entrepreneur, I never really kind of had much desire to be an entrepreneur, but I looked into it and then I was like, okay, let me see what this actually is. So the word entrepreneur actually comes from the 15th century French word meaning one who undertakes or manages. So I figured that that's exactly what I am, because I am undertaking or managing to bring in income for myself and my family. So that is what I am. I am an entrepreneur, and I am giving you now, again, in this video, 7 rules you must follow if you want to actually make money as an entrepreneur rather than sitting around thinking of yourself as an entrepreneur and not actually bringing in any income. So number 1, you must have a vision or a mission for yourself for this income that you're going to bring in and for how you're going to get it done. That is essential because, like I mentioned, there are going to be a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of trial and error involved. There are going to be more discouraging moments than encouraging moments. And it's so important that you have a vision that keeps you going through those discouraging moments. So, case in point, I was sitting in the kitchen with my mom. We'd both gotten home. It was kind of late. It was about maybe 10:30. And I had brought her home a hot dog from 7-Eleven because it was just recently 7-Eleven day and I got a free Slurpee and there was a deal for like 2 hot dogs for $2. And I'm like, yes, please. I will take two hot dogs. So I brought her home a hot dog and she was like heating it up on the stove. And we were just kind of catching up on our days. And she was kind of telling me about things that she had found out. I think she's trying to actually build her own practice as well. She's a therapist. And as she was sitting there at her stove, I was like, one day we're going to be sitting in a fabulous kitchen. And I'm going to be sitting on a comfortable stool rather than this rickety old stool that we got from like Odd Jobs, big lots for like $7 on clearance. And this is going to be it was a wonderful time with her, but I'm like, this is going to be so much better. I had a vision, a very specific, clear vision of this like ideal dream kitchen. And I'm like, that's keeping me going. So that was most recently a reconfirmation and sort of a reestablishment of this vision I had for myself and my family. So it is so critical to have a vision that carries you through those tough times. Number 2, you must set specific goals, because it is so easy to have this big vision, but unless you break it down into specific milestones, you're never going to get anywhere. So specifically, for me, and this is kind of tough because I'm in the process of building my business, but when I was getting started on eBay, I had this goal that I was going to just list 200 listings by a certain date, because I had worked out like mathematically where I wanted to be by that date, and I knew that I had to list X number of things in order to get to that goal. So like I remember staying up until 2-3 at night or 2-3 in the morning trying to list and to photograph and list and measure and get these items ready to go. But it kept me going to know that I only had X number more to go in order to make this goal. So it is essential that you have specific goals mapped out that will get you to where you want to be eventually, and to set those milestones. Number 3, set a time limit. Can be 30 days, 90 days. Usually that's the best time limit, and stick to that specific goal. So this applies also when it comes to trying a new strategy or kind of having if you're trying a new direction. So it's essential as well that you give yourself some time to gain traction in an idea, because if you're like most stereotypical entrepreneurs, you have 1,000 ideas per minute and they're always coming in. You hear about the next big thing. And that's also kind of, we're getting bombarded with all these things that people are trying, and just input and stimulus stories of things that are working, things that aren't working. It is essential that you stick to your goals. If you're going to say try a new strategy, that you have a vision for that strategy, that you set specific goals for that you want to achieve for that strategy, and then a time limit that you're going to try that strategy out. For example, I had this idea of a new strategy I was going to try for listing. I'm using my eBay store as an example because that's the hustle I've been working the longest. I've been doing that for about 2.5 years at this point. And I thought to myself, I was in regard to kind of changing the structure of some of the pricing that I was putting up. So I thought, let me give it some time. Let me give it at least 30 days and see how that works. And it actually ended up gaining traction and causing more sales, which was a good thing. It was kind of like I had to kind of take a little bit of a hit in terms of my profit, but it was good in order to generate the outcome that I was looking to generate, which was to increase my sales. So that tactic did end up working. If you're looking into trying a new tactic, like for example, I've been talking about starting a blog, which I'm kind of laughing because let's keep this on success. It works for almost any tactic you want to try. If you set a specific time limit, give yourself that time limit, really be disciplined with yourself and sticking to that, and then evaluate afterwards and see where you got, if you were able to gain any traction. Really be honest with yourself, whether or not this is something you want to pursue. Idea number 4, rule number 4, you must do something daily. I am a huge proponent of this because I can say that beyond anything else, the idea of some type of action, no matter how small, has been key in moving me forward in any area of life. So one of the quotes that I'm really enjoying right now is, success is hundreds of choices that form process. Process forms lifestyle. Success is not an event. Success is a process. So let me say that again. Success is hundreds of choices that form process. Process forms lifestyle. You set yourself up for success in your lifestyle. And that's from MJ DeMarco in The Millionaire Fast Lane, the book that I've been reading lately. And I will leave a link to that as well in the down bar. So the idea of doing something daily. I don't know if you've heard that Jerry Seinfeld quote where he just, someone asked him his success to being a comedian, and he said, well, you tried to keep the chain unbroken. So he said he tries to write something every day, and every day he writes something, he puts an X on the box in his calendar, and eventually his goal is to have all these X's on boxes in his calendar to keep that chain going, because his idea, and it's absolutely true, is that in order to be good at anything, you have to do it every day and get better. So you just have to do it. In order to get better, you have to do it. There's no really guarantee that you will get better, but you're definitely not going to get better if you don't try it. So trying and doing something every single day is key. So rule number 5 is evaluate yourself specifically and ruthlessly. This is the part that can be tough for some people, me included, because to evaluate yourself, especially in your failures, can be really tough. Either failures or success. Self-evaluation and sort of introspection and looking at what's working and what's not working can be a little bit challenging because nobody likes, doing a postmortem on their failures. However, it's the only way you're ever going to learn what works and what doesn't work. Also, you learn from the marketplace. Sometimes the marketplace will tell you. So always the marketplace will tell you. But if you have an idea that you're looking to test, that goes back to setting a specific time limit. You can evaluate what's happened over that time limit, your pros, your cons. So for me, in that new strategy on eBay, I really looked at what was working in the way that I changed my pricing. And I had to say, am I generating more sales? Yes, I am. Am I necessarily happy that I had to take a cut in profit? No, I am not. However, is this something that I need to do to get to my eventual goal of making X number of dollars per month? Yes, it is. So that's something that I was willing to do temporarily in order to get to the next level of sales. So it is so key that you evaluate yourself. I also do this for myself on a personal level every month with my plum paper planner, which I don't have here to show you, but there's a section at the back. It's just kind of blank. And I use that to really be ruthlessly honest in myself about what works and what doesn't work just in my life, pros and cons. And I've actually found this to be super helpful from a scheduling point of view because I see the things that are fun and that I enjoy as opposed to the things that I think will be fun, that I think I will enjoy. And I'm able to kind of recalibrate where I put my time and my energy based on what actually brings me the most happiness. So from an entrepreneur point of view, what actually brings you the most profit and where you're actually able to gain the most traction. Rule number 6, look at your group of peers and influences. I don't know if you've heard that quote, you probably have. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if you look at those groups of people and you don't necessarily want to be like those people, then you should probably think about spending more time with different people. And this is something that I've looked at, and for the most part, I really enjoy. It can be tough to be around people that are more successful than you. I've noticed that for myself, sometimes like jealousy comes in and like envy, and I'm like, oh, it's awful. Like, I think this is wonderful. I want to be like this person, but it can be a little bit like uncomfortable. But that's the only way you're going to grow, is by exposing yourself to these people that are doing the things you want to do and who are being what you want to be. So I would certainly suggest taking a look at your peer group and evaluating how you spend your time. That doesn't mean you have to like cut ties with people because they're not successful. Sometimes there are so many different levels of success and people that succeed in different areas. For example, in relationships, or in being good good people. People who love other people, people who care for other people. So there are many different levels of success for sure, but really evaluate who you're spending time with and if those people will encourage you to be a better version of yourself, because the only way to, say, gain true and lasting happiness is by becoming the person that you're happy and you're satisfied being. And that's not going to happen if you're not happy with the type of person that you are. So that is key. The people that you surround yourself are key to actually becoming successful in any part of life. Number 7, repeat all of these rules with diligence. So start at the beginning and work your way down, and you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it until you get to a point where you just keep doing it. There's no until. You just keep doing it. If you want to keep growing, you have to keep doing and learning and changing and adapting. And that's the only way you're going to grow and change and develop. And eventually, the idea is that growth attracts money. Those processes, those hundreds of positive choices form your lifestyle, and that lifestyle becomes your success, which as a byproduct will produce money. So those are my 7 rules that every entrepreneur must follow in order to actually make money. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any additional rules, or if you can think of anything that you must do as an entrepreneur in order to actually make money, or things that have been helpful for you in your entrepreneur journey, let me know in the comments below. You guys are my tribe and the people that I hang around with and spend time with, and I think that you're amazing, and you add something wonderful each day. By being here and by commenting and by adding to the community as a whole. So I thank you for that. And as always, I hope that you will keep watching. Bye.